Sound and lighting, check one. I don't know why I'm doing this in a sing song. Hi everyone, it's Molly, and today it's all about my bargain book haul. I'm what you would call a bibliophile, which is a person who collects or has an extreme love of books. And to say that I love books is putting things lightly. I do collect books, and I will be doing a video on that later. The books I'm about to show you are the ones that I have recently purchased at a bunch of different Salvation Armies within the local upstate Finger Lakes area. Most of the books that I bought while I was out bargain hunting are classics that I either did read while I was in high school or college, or books that I wasn't able to read depending on which class I was in, or I just didn't take the class that was featuring that book. First off, I have The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Obviously, I think everyone should read this. This is a book that I haven't read before, but I know that it's one that I'm going to love. The next book is Virginia Woolf's Orlando. I haven't read a lot of Virginia Woolf's works at all, actually. I really want to. I've seen quotes of hers that I really enjoy, and I've been wanting to read some of her work. I'm looking forward to reading this very much. Next I have is Edith Wharton's Ethan Frome. I actually believe I read this in high school. It's been so long since high school. I'm 24. It's been exactly 10 years since I started high school. So for me to remember all the books I read during my high school years is kind of hard. And during high school I would say that I wasn't the biggest reader, which I think is the truth for a lot of people, because when you're forced to read something, you don't really enjoy it that much because all you're concentrated on doing is getting the reading done, as well as answering the questions and memorizing the material that you're going to be tested on later. And trying to do that with like a classic work such as these is very difficult to do. So I'm looking forward to reading or rereading this book. Next I have two books by Dante. Dante is one of the greatest Italian poets ever, and I've actually never read all of his poems, including the Divine Comedy or the Purgatorio, so I'm very excited to have found these to read. And the fact that they're kind of like beaten up and you can barely read the side of it is really interesting. And also I have whoever owned these before, I have their little notes inside, which I love. And it's going to be really interesting to see what they have to say. Next book that seems to have a spine where you can't really read it is Cervantes' Don Quixote. I minored in Spanish in college, but my focus was in Latin American and Caribbean studies, so I didn't touch Spanish literature, as in literature from Spain. Focused mainly on Latin American literature, such as Gabriel Garcia Marquez, which I actually have a book that I'll be showing you later that I got. I've always been interested in reading Don Quixote, and unfortunately it is the English translation, but one of these days I would like to get the Spanish version and read that, but probably should read the English version first. As I said, I minored in Spanish and Latin American and Caribbean studies. They were dual minors, so I spent a lot of time on Latin American literature, which is actually a specific course I took. So I love Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and I was very sad to hear of his passing over a year ago. I was able to find Love in the Time of Cholera, which was actually the first book I found through my bargain hunting, so I thought that was a sign. This is the English version. Again, I would like to get the Spanish version someday, but having the English version for now is okay by me. I did find a book in Spanish. It's called El Cuaderno de Maya. El Cuaderno de Maya no es una novela sobre las drogas, es un relato del crecimiento de una mujer. It's about a girl named Maya who's 19 years old, who lives alone, and so we'll have to see how this goes. I haven't done Spanish in since I graduated from New Paltz, which is going on 2 years now, and not being able to talk with anybody in Spanish has really put my Spanish on the back burner, which is really upsetting to me. So by reading this book, I'm really hoping that it will come back soon. Next book is To Kill a Mockingbird. I have read To Kill a Mockingbird, I've seen the movie, it's amazing, but I obviously haven't owned a copy myself, which I'm surprised until now. And I really like that it's not the normal cover that you would see for To Kill a Mockingbird. This book was actually printed in 1982, which is very interesting. So, I'm looking forward to rereading this. And yes, I'm going to read or reread all of the books at some point. Trust me. The next book that I got that I have already read is The Kite Runner. I read this in my college 101 or 102 class while I was in high school. I took college courses through my high school because there's a community college here in our city, and they allow courses to be done through the high school to help seniors or juniors, depending on if you have time and or aptitude to take the courses. And I can't remember if 101 or 102 is composition and which one's literature, but The Kite Runner is such an amazing book, and I really do want to read A Thousand Splendid Suns, and I know it's been out for so long, but I just haven't been able to read it yet. But I really think The Kite Runner is what really got me into reading as like a hobby, because of how like truly mesmerizing this book is. I have also picked up The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I don't know if I have read any other Oscar Wilde books. Let's see. Most likely I've read his poems, but I just can't name any off the top of my head. But I am really looking forward to reading an actual novel by him. Next I got is Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea, which I'm surprised I haven't read yet. And this actually has somebody's notes in it, which I know look all jumbled, and I'll put in a better screenshot of them. It'll be interesting to read it. That was the sound of all of them falling off the chair. I also picked up selected poems and 2 plays of William Butler Yeats. When this book was originally sold, it was sold for $1.95 because it was printed in 1962. The plays are Calvary and Purgatory, and there's hundreds of poems. I'd say about 200 poems, which is saying something considering it's a selection of poems, so I'm looking forward to this. I picked up Still Alice because I haven't seen the movie of it, but obviously it won a lot of awards at this past year's Academy Awards. Sorry, I've been out of commission work and school-wise for a long time, so my time seems to just drag on, and I don't know what day it is, what month it is. Is it May? Is it October? Is it light outside? Is it dark? I don't know. You're lucky I know my name and my age. But anyways, I'm excited to read this and then watch the movie because I'm that person that likes to read the book before I see the movie. I picked up Looking for Alaska by John Green. I've only read The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I do like John Green as a writer, so I have a feeling I will like this book. I wasn't able to read this book in school. I don't know why. It just wasn't on my reading list for when I was in high school. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, which you will find out in a Harry Potter haul video coming up as well. And I found Kids' Letters to Harry Potter from Around the World. And it says, in a very special collection of letters by kids from all over the world, fans of the phenomenally popular Harry Potter share with the wizard hero their secrets, hopes, concerns, and dreams. For these young readers, the Sorcerer's Stone, the Chamber of Secrets, the Prisoner of Azkaban, and the Goblet of Fire have become passwords to magic and extraordinary adventure. But in Harry Potter himself, as the letters and interviews in this Charmer of a Book show, kids have discovered the still more marvelous sorcery that lies in friendship. And reading that, it's just so true, because a lot of my best friends, actually most of my best friends, I've met through our love of Harry Potter. This book just holds true to a lot of that. And then finally, I picked up 2 copies of A Wrinkle in Time. I have never read A Wrinkle in Time, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I picked up 2 copies because I actually picked up this one first, which was published originally in 1979, and I just love how it's a hardcover. It's just got the little frayed edges. It's just really beautiful to me, and like I couldn't imagine like actually reading this book. I just want to look at it. So that's why when I found this one at another Salvation Army that I stopped at, I was so happy, because this one I could actually hold in my hand and flip through and read. So that's it. That's my bargain book haul. Please let me know what books you enjoy, where you go to find like good bargains when it comes to books. Do you go to Salvation Army? Do you go to antique shops, secondhand stores, consignment shops? Because I shop at all of those. It's just this time I happened to go to Salvation Army because that's where I was around. Please leave all those answers in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks! It was just an introduction to